for anybody who really do spiritual work with human beings, with humans, to those who came here, to those who was birthed on the planet Earth to do a spiritual work. And if you recognize yourself as that type of being, through the spiritual initiations, gifts, talents, and upgrades you may be experiencing, then I salute you. But when it comes to human beings, just because I work with the dead, it don't mean I have their taste. What does that mean? If I dress like a bum, would that change my energy signature? If it had already presented itself, exposed itself for what it is, as it is, through who it is. So what does that say about dirty energy people, toxic energy people appearing to be clean, appearing to be whole, appearing to be healed? What does that say about them? If I dress like a bum and it don't change the energy signature that I have already presented myself as, then what does it say about those that's trying to appear to be what we not? Because I've been there too. That's how I got here. Walk with me. See, the only way to be deaf is life. And the only way to live is to stop giving ourselves the life that we used to live in. It's a cult teaching. See, you gotta be in the flow, or you're gonna be in control. Choose one. You're gonna be in the flow, or you're gonna be in control. I'm gonna say it again. You're gonna be in the flow, or you're gonna be in control. You can't have them both. Choose one. In our different interactions, in our many interactions, especially mine, I found myself a lot of times asking myself, questions such as, do we even truly comprehend the opportunities that we be given, the opportunities that we have each and every day through our many associations and interactions? Do we even recognize what we be witnessing at the times that we witnessing certain things? Do we even recognize what we hearing when we listening to certain things? When you hearing what's being heard, do you understand what you're listening to? And I'm not saying understand or comprehend from a mental space as much as I'm speaking from an energetic and frequency, vibrational space. See, the fine line between me and most is that in all I know nothing, because I know this shit bigger than me. But most ain't get there yet. So bigger than me that take myself through initiations of humiliation. I take myself through initiations of patience. I take myself through initiations of compassion. I've took myself through initiations of mercy. I took myself through initiations of forgiveness. I took myself through initiations of healing so I could sit here and present this work. Why? Because my biggest enemy, my biggest vice, and it had many addictions attached to it because it was my biggest vice. And I had to understand the ways that it was expressing itself through the many things that I committed myself to doing, even when I knew better, was my anger. It was the last thing to go because it was the first thing that I came with. It's the same flame that everybody hear when you hear me speak. It's the same flame that you feel in the vibration of my energy. It's the same flame that you see in the presence of my aura, for those who have an eye to see. But what's the difference? And that's my magic. And when you accomplish it for yourself, then it'll be yours. This shit bigger than us. So in all I know nothing. But does that mean I have nothing to share? Not at all. See, I know I'm just a part of it. A part of all the parts. In the parts that we are. In the parts of the whole. In all the parts that we play. See, sometimes the magic ain't gonna be with sleight of hands. Sometimes you gotta know how to hit a magic when you're in the presence of it. Because with hearing comes sight. And for those who know the Bible, should know the meaning of that. With hearing comes sight. With faith, faith comes by hearing. And with hearing comes sight. And with sight, insight, it gives you a vision. I trust the wisdom in my heart. And I use the logic of my head. See, it's an equal balance. That's how I put myself on the cross daily. You can't have either or off balance. Can't have either or off balance. Last year, I said 2023 was all about spiritual completion. So a lot of things, the message may sound different. The energy may feel a little different. Because we still got some things to heal. See, we ain't there till all us there. See why I do this shit? It ain't about a dollar. It ain't about popularity. It ain't about fame. It ain't about celebrity. It ain't about none of that to me. See, and just to tell y'all something that most of y'all don't know, I was on Oprah Winfrey show in 1986, 87. Juvenile Awareness Project, Scared Straight program. So even in my mess, I done been on the big screen. So all that worldly status and accolades, it don't mean nothing to spiritual people. Not real spiritual, true spiritual walkers. It don't mean nothing to us. The angels don't care nothing about what the world care about. So we ain't on some catch up shit. If anything, we on some y'all can catch us later. Y'all can catch it later. See, when you in a space where people who've been doing this even before I came, talking about readers, high priests, and different traditions of spirituality. You know, my lessons don't came from so many places. I can't say it enough, cause I gotta give respect where respect due. Some of them people ain't here no more. They don't transition, but in the midst of their transition, the same way they was my spiritual guides on this side of reality, they still my spiritual guides on this side of reality. See, cause the unseen and the seen is one and the same reality for one to one who lives in both sides already. See, and for those who not there to understand that, when you get there, you'll remember you'll know what I meant. When you unreadable, just to cut it short, when you unreadable, you're a powerful spirit. It ain't gonna take for nobody else to tell you that you're special. It won't take for nobody else to tell you that you're different. It won't take for no one else to tell you that you're unique. But it's on you to bring all those things out about yourself, your divine self. See, when it came to me, I couldn't allow it to happen. What I had to do became what I must do. And that's what I do. See, it's only the humans who used to people that's like them to hide behind the same things that they hide behind. The same wounds, the same toxicity, the same karmic cycles. Ask me how I know. And a lot of times, it's even easier to find ourselves okay in them places. Even when we see there's other options, there's other paths, yet be powerless to do anything about it, to take that route, to take that step. Pride and ego can get the best of us. It had me. See, I walked the hard road. I walked the road less traveled, and it's a hard road. Way harder than I could have ever imagined. But it also gave me a better view. Some of y'all to catch it. See, it's through my past that I see in what we call this present. And it's in what we call this present that I'm able to get glimpses, small and large, into the future. What that means to me is I ain't here to leave no rock for a piece of myself to hide behind. So I ain't here to leave no rock for you to hide behind either. It'll be if it's an injustice to myself, to do it to myself, it would be an injustice if I did it to you. See, if you really see me like you, for those who like that, you know, have something to identify in, and that's cool. But if you really see me like you, this is a message from yourself. Because this is how I deal with me to get this shadow work done. If you see yourself in me, then you're a part of this shadow work. See, this shit that I present, this gift that I present in the form of messages, these downloads, it's only for who it can help because they're willing to receive it. It's not for who it can't help. In the words of my little cousin, and I quote, motherfuckers ain't gonna realize what role I play till it's too late. And when they realize it, it's gonna be too late. And I thought about it for a minute. And I gave it another minute. And then I got out of time with it until I forgot what time it was. You hear me? And my higher self spoke to the self that y'all looking at. It already is. It's Judgment Day every day. So sometimes you can't see what shadow work look like. How can one really even express what shadow work look like? Unless we're expressing it through the things that we gotta go through so one can recognize and identify. Damn, that's what this shit all about. Yeah, everyday life. Shit ain't all mystical like, see, that's why I had to change up things. This shit ain't all mystical like the big YouTubers making it look like. It's real work though. You gotta to really be willing to put yourself day after day after day, regardless of the route. You really gotta have a heart for the people. I ain't monetized. I do this from a heart for the people. It's an honor to be here. It truly is. So you can tell by the things I speak, the shit an angel come here and go through. But it's a pleasure, it's an honor to be here. Because it's through the cracks that the light enters. So I couldn't be here if it wasn't some cracks that the light needed to shine through. See, like most people, before I fully embrace my divinity, before I fully embrace my divinity, I used to believe that my anger was my power, was my strength. But it was my weakness. And I know that by the continuous cycles of the shit that it took me through, the hamster wheel that y'all hear me talk about, that loop. last thing to go. And that took me through a lot of shit over the years to realize. I allow myself to be seen without any mask. And the reason I allow myself to be seen without any mask, because if I show you who I truly am, at least you will know why you love me. Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Stay on your path, family. Stay focused. Don't get distracted with the distractions. The war is on. And they say we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but with principalities and powers, spiritual wickedness in high places, trying to exalt itself above the knowledge of God. Be still and know I am God. That got to be in you, not on you. Peace.